Hi everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, and this is Connor.
Hey guys.
We're going to talk about Outcast, Season 1, Episode 5. It's called The Road Before Us, and full spoilers, as always. And this probably is my favourite episode of the show so far.
Do you know what? I was just about to say the same thing, but without the probably, because I'm certain it is.
I was just being kind of British and not committing to
Uh,
it.
yeah, I get it. I see that's the thing. Had the sentence including probably, but then you said it. I was like, nah, fuck it. I'm getting rid of that probably. It was.
Aye. Uh, and why is this? First of all, well, the main thing is because we're actually delving into Kyle's main bit of backstory here with his wife and his daughter, and we're seeing more of this part because we left off last time with the Reverend realizing, oh shit, that woman that I thought I'd exorcised has is still possessed. Oh shit. And that's led Kyle to wonder, is my ex-wife, or well, I don't think she's even ex-wife, I think they're still married, but is she still possessed? And this created a lot of good sort of tension. Although I have one little kind of a plot hole. Maybe you'll explain this away for me. I don't know.
Okay, go on.
He didn't try phoning her at all. Could he have phoned her? Could he have tried that?
Does he have a number?
Yeah, he's phoned her before. He phoned her in episode 1.
Maybe she changed her number since then because he phoned her.
True, but they've not shown us that. So
They haven't, but that would be my assumption that if she thinks she's stalking she'd just change it. That's
but
what I'd do.
yeah, but you're jumping to some assumptions there.
No, it is an assumption,
Yeah.
but I feel like it's a fairly logical one at the same time.
Logical, but I'm just saying they could have maybe had a scene where he tried that, or gave a reason why he wouldn't do that. It felt like it was
Again,
missing.
I suppose the other option is he felt like he needed to be face to face so he could see if she was possessed still, and because he wanted to be in the room with her and speak to her and see how
I
she reacted.
I can get that, but you know what? 2 lines of dialogue, Reverend. Why don't you try and phone her? Blah blah blah. Because of this, done.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
it felt missing. It felt like because it wasn't even mentioned, alluded to, nothing. It just kind of felt absent. That said, led to some pretty cool dynamics in the episode because we know why he's concerned. We've seen enough to know that he should legitimately be concerned, and it's not just bullshit. Like we know there's actual possessions going on, and
Yep.
I even said in the first episode review that I assumed that she was possessed and that she actually beat up the kid, and he took the fall for it.
Yeah.
He helped get rid of the demon on her, and took the fall for it. And more of what was seen in this episode actually backed that up for me.
Yeah.
That seemed to all sort of line up. Um, so his sister goes and tries to talk to her, and we get some nice little sort of hints of things that the daughter doesn't really like the mum right now very much. Again, maybe tying into the fact that it was the mum that beat the shit out of her, and maybe the daughter's
It's a
kinda,
very fractured relationship there, isn't it?
yeah. Uh, so, but where this episode really hit the ground running here for me was when Kyle went over, because I was like uneasy the entire time. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, I was completely on edge. It was
So,
fantastic.
see when she looked at him through the window, like just sort of like just a small window next to the door,
Mm.
and I'm like, oh dear, oh dear.
It's then even like when she opens the door and she just stands half in it and like she won't commit.
And I felt really bad for him because he's being really genuine, and he like even when he asks her to come outside, he goes back down the stairs. He's like, I'll back up here. You
But
know,
it's really added to by the fact that we have these flashbacks to when it all happened. And it really adds to why she feels so terrified.
but at the same time, this episode introduced a lot of new things to this that we didn't know.
It
We did
did.
not know that she didn't remember any of it.
No.
That was new information, and that made it much because that sells me on her attitude towards all this, and it also makes her much more of an interesting character because she can't remember. She's told that her husband beat her up and that he confessed to it all, but deep down she doesn't really believe that. And as we see later on in the episode, she still doesn't really believe it.
Yeah.
And I think that makes her character really interesting.
Yeah, definitely. It's fascinating. it's a really weird dynamic because obviously we know he didn't do anything wrong, and she wants to believe that, but she has to assume that he did.
She has to assume it, but she doesn't believe it. And part of the reason why it's so awkward in a good way and so like pulling at us in multiple directions as a viewer is we completely get why everyone else is skeptical when she says, no, he wouldn't do that. Because it's the exact same thing that you so often hear when there is domestic abuse. You know, it's like such this typical thing to say, and it usually is complete bullshit.
Yeah.
But here, we know that it's not. And that makes it really kind of frustrating for us, but we get it. So, not to jump around too much, but I want to jump to the end right now because it just ties into what I'm saying here.
Yeah, okay.
So, first of all, see when she was just sitting there on the porch at the end when he got home, I was like, oh shit. Like, her to come to him is such a big deal, and I wasn't sure where it was going.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if the scene where she thought the daughter, you know, like we see the red and we think it's blood, and it just turns out to be paint, and she freaks out, and the daughter hides in the closet from her. And her coming to him, and he sort of realizes she's speaking that he completely get she does not know what happened at all, and she starts asking him why, and it's frustrating that he won't tell her, but at the same time I understand why he won't tell her because he doesn't want to tell his wife that she beat the shit out of her kid.
Or, that she was possessed by a demon.
Well, no. See, yeah, I agree with that too. And I agree that that's a thing. Like, she won't necessarily believe it because that's a big thing because she isn't aware of this shit, right? But I thoroughly believe that the real reason why he won't even try and tell her is because he does not want her to.
Oh no, there's a reason
have
he
that
took
baggage.
the fall in the first place.
Yeah, he doesn't want her to have that baggage that she did this,
Yeah.
possessed or not.
No, I agree.
And this all this just made this much more interesting to me, and I like that she's feeling so conflicted and she's having these weird feelings like because she was possessed, because she did do these things, she's not feeling connected with her daughter, because that's the good thing when he goes over there and the daughter runs out, you immediately get that Kale's actually really nice to her, and like you get that relationship really quickly. I'm almost regretting they waited till the 5th episode to give us some of this stuff,
yeah.
but at the same time it's good stuff.
Yeah. There was some interesting, you just mentioned how the kid ran into the closet. I thought it was a wonderful parallel to
his
him as a
backstory.
kid. Yeah. It's fantastic. And just to go back a little bit, we were talking about how she obviously wanted to believe in him. And I think that adds a lot to her dynamic with his sister as well. Because obviously she's the only person who does actually believe him.
Yeah, you're right. And actually that moment when she kisses him and begs her, it's like almost like she almost, it's not even just that she kind of believes, it's almost like she fully believes, she is sure that he's not what they're saying to her, and she wants to know, and he can't tell her. But we get why. Like, this is sometimes it's really frustrating in TV shows when characters just lie to each other or withhold things, and you don't understand why, and it's just there for bullshit drama reasons. But I get why he won't do this. I get why he won't just say it.
It's actually painful to watch because you understand.
Yeah.
Not painful because, what are they doing this shit for? Which is my usual response.
Exactly. So, no, that main plot with him and his family, and I hope we get more of the wife, like, going forward. I hope she becomes more of a main character, and it feels like she probably will be now. It certainly seems to be going that way. And the last point I guess I'll make on that is that when she does touch him, and we see that she isn't possessed, she's just really fucked up by the experience. That almost hit kind of hard. I was like, oh shit, she's not possessed.
Yeah, it's because we got a hint of it almost that she was before, where, when he goes and visits her, he touches her hand and she kind of pulls it away.
But at the same time, you can explain that.
You can, but it's played as if, she might be.
Even before that, when she's in the house on her own, like in earlier scenes, and she's just sort of staring around, they almost go out of their way to direct it in such a way that it looks like she's possessed.
Yeah, but then they throw in very quickly all the medication, so it's like, it could be one or the other for most of the episode, and that's very clever, I think.
Yeah, it was well played, and it almost was like it should be good news that she's not possessed, but it actually means she's kind of just fucked up now.
It's almost worse news because if she was possessed, they at least know how to cure that to a degree.
to a degree, I have some opinions on them not realizing what cures things based
Okay,
on
yeah,
the rest of the plot in
but
this.
we have seen them get rid of demons. They can
Yes,
fix that. This
yes.
is much more complicated.
Right. So jumping over to the other plot with Kyle and the Reverend, them realizing, oh shit, other people might still be possessed. To go and visit the guy in the old pet shop that he doesn't use anymore, who's clearly possessed.
Ah, they got one before that, don't they?
Well, they do, but I'm saving that because it ties into
Ah,
because
okay,
they go back to that one.
right, okay.
This one's self-contained, so I'm just going here first. Um, and Kyle touches him, he reacts. He's clearly possessed, and they have to back out. And this is also interesting for the Reverend, realizing that almost every exorcism he's ever done has probably not worked.
Yeah,
He's been tricked every time. Which is why it kind of hits hard later on when Kyle just says, "Look, your fucking god doesn't exist," and if he does, he's laughing at you, and he just
yeah,
walks away. And it's like, as an atheist, I sympathise with what he just said, but I feel bad for the Reverend because that was the blow.
yeah. That was harsh words.
Yeah. So, nah. But yeah, the main sort of case they take on this one is the daughter of like a nearby farmer.
Yeah, but I think the thing I love about both of these cases that situations is that we see the demons can really be subtle.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we saw it a few episodes ago with the cops, but like that was still fairly violent. And obviously we got the kid and his mom and
Yeah, he was full on like exorcist acting up.
yeah, but like it was we had the subtlety of was he or wasn't he sort of possessed for a while.
Mm, mm.
Whereas this showed that when they're just hiding, they just fuck people's lives in much more human ways almost.
Yeah, because the guy, left his wife, he's lost his house, he's, in the shitter. The daughter's on the streets living off God knows what.
Yeah.
Um, and this idea that the Reverend needs some kind of redemption, he needs a win. And they go and try and find the girl, and they find her in this, I guess, like a abandoned subway station or train station or something near a train. I don't know. It was hard to
Somewhere
tell.
that where the homeless people congregate
Yes, yes. Which American TV shows always seem to
have these places,
have
don't
these
they?
places, and I can't think of a single place I've ever encountered that has the homeless section.
I don't know. I can think of certain areas that you'll see three or four of them.
But not a whole, like,
Not that many, no.
yeah, like dozens and dozens and dozens of them all live together.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird.
Maybe these places do exist. I don't know,
Yeah.
but they find her, and then we get. So the Reverend asks Kyle to hit her, and I'm like, "Have you guys not figured it out yet? Bodily fluid. Kyle's bodily fluid
I
needs to
know.
go in. All he has to do is cut his hand and just hold it over her mouth, and we should be fine. We should be fine. I'm not saying he has to, try and knock one out and just hope he hits her. Like,
It's going to happen at some point, though.
he's not using that tactic. I don't think that's going to
That's
happen.
what's happening with the wife.
She's not possessed.
No, it's gonna twist again. Turns out she is.
Is that how he accidentally exercised her
it,
before?
Yeah,
It was just a normal night in the Barnes household.
yeah. That's exactly what happened.
Oh dear. But the weird thing is she still gets unpossessed, but it happens like it did to his mother. It leaves her in a catatonic state, but we get that cool scene of the black gooey smoke thing coming out, and it lifts Kale up and strangles him and is pissed at him, and all sorts of things going on.
Yeah, it shows me that it's really hit or miss his cure because obviously the kid was fine
Yeah,
and he was definitely cured.
but that was bodily fluid. There was no bodily fluid this time.
No, there wasn't. You're right, but there was with the mother.
True. True.
So, so far the only correlation is gender. That is literally the only correlation.
I don't think
I'm not
that's,
saying.
yeah.
I no. Correlation does not equal causation.
No, wait a minute,
I'm saying
wait a minute.
that-
His wife's fine. I mean, she's a bit fucked up in the head, but that's
But
just...
did he do that, or did the Reverend do it? Because obviously he.
Well, she seemed to be fine, like, the next day in the hospital. So, I would imagine...
Ah, that's a good point. It was probably him. You're right.
Yeah. And that's why no one necessarily... That's why the Reverend probably, like... Yeah, because everyone just thinks he's a wife beater, so it doesn't sound like the Reverend came out and we had a visit and did
Yeah.
things. You know.
You're right. So, okay, so we have no correlation.
Yeah, I do think he beat his wife up, but I think it's because she was possessed, like we seen with the kid.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, yeah,
he's seen what happened to his mother, and he's taken action.
yeah, definitely.
Uh, right, lot of new mythology stuff in this episode because we go over to Brent Spiner's character, who checks out Kale's house first, which does not much happens in that scene actually. He just sort of has a wander, but he goes over to the old woman we met in the last episode, who's still possessed. Who, when she sees who it is, immediately stops like complaining and whining, and
Yeah, it's interesting.
they start having this casual chat, and he starts talking about humans and all sorts, and she says that, or he says that she probably won't make the, is it the merger,
The merge, I thought,
the
yeah.
merge, yeah, and she tries to, I think, possess him, but that doesn't work because of whatever he is.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
And he says you can call me Sydney, but I just feel like he just picked a name there and then. It didn't sound like that's actually his name.
No, but isn't that the name he gave them at the funeral?
Oh, true, you're right, yeah.
So it's what he's going by at
It's
least.
what he's going by, but I don't necessarily think that is his name. Like, I feel like he may actually just be Satan. I don't know. He could be Satan's right hand man. I don't know, but he's higher up in the Tatum the you know the pecking order than she
Yeah, yeah,
is,
definitely.
and they're all coming to the town because of something that's going to happen called the merge that Kyle in some way is going to be involved in because the other girls said that he was needed for it.
Yeah. Also explains the high level of possession in this town.
It does, yeah, which some people might complain about and say, "What, is everyone possessed?" But no,
It wasn't bothering me because, I mean, if you're doing a show about possession, sure, people are going to be
well, they
possessed. But
already said that they already like hinted that it might be because they're all drawn to him, so that was enough for me, really.
yeah,
It was like Buffy, like, why is there so much shit going on? We're on Hellmouth, that tracks all this shit. There you
yeah.
go. Done.
Yeah, you don't even really need a reason, I don't think. But I know that there were people complaining about it.
Yeah. So nah, I think it's interesting. So we're seeing things. The only thing that concerns me, but makes me think that, like, I'm guessing the merge will happen in the finale, but at the same time, I feel like we're going at such a sort of steady, slow pace that I don't know if it will.
Yeah, that's one thing. We know it's been renewed for a season two, so maybe it won't.
Yeah, maybe this will be a 2 season thing. I don't know, but no, I really enjoyed this episode. I mean, I was enjoying it before anyway, but I really liked all of the developments, especially the mythology stuff's cool, and I like that they're building on that. But for me, it was the husband-wife stuff with Kyle and
Yeah,
his wife that
I
really,
really like the stuff with the cop as well. You know, talking to his friend, like
yeah, that
that
was
was
good.
so tense. Like they're playing it like, do you know that I know that you know?
Yeah, and again, it all ties in because we had an argument when they've hinted that he knew something, and you were like, oh, he's dirty, and I'm like, I don't think he is dirty, and we're getting more that it's because it's his friend, possibly his best friend, as he says,
Mm.
who I never got worked at the fire station before.
I didn't either. I
Yeah,
think that's why they made a big deal of it, honing in on his badge on
yeah,
that said his position, because I think that was just
yeah.
clearing it up.
But it stands to reason he would know how to burn something properly.
It does.
Because you said it burned really quick, and I'm
I
like,
did, and
yeah,
fair enough. They got me. They gave me a good reason for it.
yeah, he's an expert. He knows this stuff.
No, no, that's it. Like I may have meant that as a criticism, but now it's actually a clever thing that they did.
Actually, yeah, it can make sense. I don't even know if he even meant it that way. Maybe it was just they rushed it, and then there was a good explanation for it. I don't know, but
Yeah, sure,
it
but either
works.
way, it works.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. That conversation when he was holding the chainsaw was.
Mm. And the one earlier as well. You know, where he was going for his breakfast.
But I like that. I keep almost calling him Roy, Mark, because he was Roy in the office,
Yeah, yeah.
and he like he like gets the results back, and it's like, oh, the girl's been found. She's with some sibling or whatever, and they're like, okay, that was a red herring, but we're still waiting on the fingernail and other stuff and the hair. Like, I think she was the fingerprints. I think that's what came back quick, and then but there's all
Yeah.
2 things. So
She was already in the system.
yeah, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, like you say about that chainsaw one. I think the moment for me was before the conversation even started, where he unclips the holster for his gun. It's
Yeah,
like
it's like
he's ready just in case.
yeah, he thinks that something might go down.
Yeah. No, I really like this episode a lot.
No, it was good. It was good. It's the best episode yet.
Yeah, and it left me with one other thing. What if the wife never was possessed? How fucked would that be?
If she's just
'Cause
crazy.
yeah, because we've seen in this like how she was acting maybe possessed on the like the medication and shit like that. What if she was genuinely just snapped, and he rationalized it as possession because he's seen that before? How much rougher would that be?
That would be rough. I expect we'll get an answer because we'll probably get a flashback at some point, and we may or may not see the black goo flow out of her. So
Which would explain why she didn't go catatonic.
true, but we've also seen other victims not
Yeah,
go
yeah, we
catatonic.
have, but I almost kind of want it to lean in that direction just because that would be a ballsy move.
I'm inclined to say no, just because I know that Brent Spiner was like gunning for him. Like they went after the mother specifically for him, so
Yeah.
it makes sense that they would go after his wife.
No, I agree. It's probably less likely, but I think for me it would be a little bit more interesting.
It would be sinister. I give you that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could happen. I don't think it's a bad idea.
Hmm.
But no, this is actually easily the longest we've ever talked about Outcast because it gives us a lot to chew on this week.
It's because it was easily the most excited I've been after watching it.
So no, Outcast really finding its footing, I guess.
Mm.
So no, let us know what you thought in the comments below, and if you were captivated by all the same stuff we were. Like and subscribe, all that stuff, all that usual YouTube things helps us out a lot. And thanks for watching, guys. We will see you next time.